The definition of luck is success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own actions. I think it's safe to say we've all experienced a little good luck as well as bad luck. And while we sometimes have days where it seems we have no good luck at all, we seem to also have days where we have all the luck in the world. Luck is very much a mysterious mistress of which no one has control over. She can love you one day and hate you the next. This is where we come in to share with you some unbelievable lucky breaks and some not quite as good lucky fails. I'm Neima Ash, and this is Unexplained Possibilities, 3 moments of good luck and 3 moments of bad luck. If you're committing a crime, you need a lot of luck to get away with it. And for these guys, Lady Luck wasn't in their corner. Heck, she wasn't even in the same country. In 2016, 2 armed robbers attempted to rob a McDonald's in Besançon, France. The robbers went into the places, guns drawn, and executed their plan. They got the money and probably a couple Royal au fromage and were on their way out. Everything went down without a hitch. That is, until one of the robbers tripped. Normally, this wouldn't be a big deal. No one in their right mind would take his tripping as an opening to pounce, right? Right? Well, unfortunately for the robbers, that McDonald's just happened to be hosting 11 testosterone-driven, hardcore, straight from an action movie, French Special Forces. And that little trip was all they needed to pounce and attack. The criminal that tripped was subdued immediately, but criminal number 2 was stubborn. He refused to drop his gun and instead challenged the highly trained and probably upset their meal was interrupted French Special Forces. He survived and both criminals went to jail, where they both agreed they should have robbed the Burger King instead. Sometimes when things go right, they all go right, and for Miguel Hernandez, things could not have been any righter. Hunter Hare and his friends are home from college for a little break. Being that they're 19, being home just means one thing: party. So Hunter and his friends pile into his car and start heading to a friend's house who is hosting the party. Along the way, traffic was clear, lights were all green, and everything was perfect. Well, almost perfect. Hunter was using the GPS on an iPhone when it decided not to work properly and the friends got lost. Not knowing what the problem was or which direction he needed to head in to get to the party, Hunter decided to pull over and try and fix the issue. And that's when a friend of Hunter, Zach, saw Miguel Hernandez. Miguel wasn't doing too good either. Miguel had gone and got his Mazda about 50 yards out into a lake, and he was sinking. The friends exited their car and rushed into the lake to save Miguel, who was in shock and clutching the steering wheel of the Mazda. Zach and Hunter were able to get Miguel to roll down the window, and they undid his seatbelt and got him to safety as the car went down to the bottom of the lake. Just think, if Hunter and his friends left later than they did, got caught by red lights, or never had gotten lost, Miguel probably wouldn't be alive today. We all at one point have known someone unlucky. While they could have been the nicest person in the world, they seem to attract misfortune wherever they went. Gene Rogers is said person. Some of the things Gene has dealt with are as follows. Gene has been struck by lightning twice. When she was 18, she fell off a boat into the ocean, and to add insult to injury, her friend who was with her went to go get help. However, her friend slipped and knocked herself unconscious. When she came to, she got the boat to go back for Gene. Many years later, while walking with her son, a bat attacked Gene. The bat grabbed onto Gene's head and refused to let go. Gene was going to different homes asking for help. Instead, she had people freak out, and which in turn caused the bat to pee on her. Gene found a friend who let her borrow his car. She had to drive herself to the vet with a bat tangled up in her hair on her head. Gene has also been mugged, shot at, strangled, and fell into an open manhole. Gene has gone on the record and said, "Dying doesn't scare me, but living scares the crap out of me." As a bonus, Gene accidentally pulled down the pants of Mr. Rogers at a swimming pool. Not her husband, but the actual Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. Jean clearly needs to live in a bubble. Skydiving is probably the biggest thrill one can seek out. You have to be an adrenaline junkie to the extreme to not only partake, but also enjoy the speedy free fall and after pulling the cord, the slow descent down to land. Can you imagine the nervous energy flowing through your body as you're about to jump from a plane thousands of feet in the air? Or how free you feel, gliding down, wind in your face, silence all around you? Shayna Richardson is such a person who knows those feelings very well as the feeling of a parachute not opening, and that free fall continuing on way longer than it should. In fact, Shayna plummeted more than 3,000 feet down and went splat, face first into a parking lot. Shayna survived and was found sitting up where her crash landing took place. Shayna was rushed to the hospital and had 14 surgeries performed and needed 15 faceplates. The doctors also shared some surprising news with her. Not only did she survive her 50 miles per hour free fall, but so did her, at the time, 2-week-old fetus. Yep, Shayna Richardson found out she was pregnant in the most extreme way possible, by face planting into a parking lot after jumping out of a plane. Congrats to you and the little one, Shayna. There is a superstition that was once believed and still might be believed by captains of boats and their men who sail the untamable sea. Women aboard a ship was bad luck. They claimed the women would make the sea angry. On the flip side though, a naked woman was good luck and it would calm the sea. On the very slight chance those superstitions are legit, I'm betting the captains of the boats Violet Jessup was on wishes she would have paraded around in the nude. In 1911, Violet was a stewardess aboard the luxury liner and sister ship to the Titanic, the Olympic. On September 20th, 1911, the Olympic collided with a British warship. No one was hurt in that collision, but Violet Jessup decided to move on and join the crew on a larger ship. A ship not even God could sink. The Titanic. Well, needless to say, we know how that story goes. Violet made it to one of the lifeboats and decided to avoid the sea for a few years. In 1916, the sea called for Violet to come back. Violet heeded the call and signed up to serve as a nurse aboard the Britannic. While true to form, things didn't go quite as planned for Violet. The Britannic was driven into a mine, and that was all she wrote. Violet made it to a lifeboat, but it didn't get far enough away from the sinking Britannic, so she had to jump into the water. Violet's head bashed to the sinking boat, but she survived, and for a third time made it back to land. Violet Jessup passed away at the age of 83 in 1971. After cheating death on the sea, she became known as Miss Unsinkable. Accidents happen all the time, and they can happen at any given moment. This is something Australian Bill Morgan knows all too well. Bill was tragically crushed in a truck accident that caused him to have a fatal heart attack. Bill was dead for over 14 minutes, but by some miracle, he somehow came back to life, but was in a coma. Another miracle would happen as Bill woke up after being in a 12-day coma, even after his family removed the life support. So that alone would be where most things would end. But Bill seemed to have come back to life, dragging Lady Luck with him. Bill decided to celebrate his second chance at life, so he bought a scratch-it card and won a $17,000 car. When word got out about what had happened, the local news decided to interview Bill and asked him to reenact the winning moment by scratching another card, only for him to win $170,000 during the live reenactment. So let's recap. Bill gets into an accident, dies from a heart attack, comes back to life, comes out of a coma, wins a car, and then wins $170,000. If he's not a lucky SOB, then I don't know who is. And that concludes Unexplained Possibilities, 3 moments of good luck and 3 moments of bad luck. We hope you all enjoyed, and if you have your own good luck, bad luck story, be sure to share it with us in the comments down below. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notify button so you know when the latest content from us drops. Also, be sure to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Those links will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and we will be seeing you next time.